So we're on a mission to visit all 50 states and take a little time to appreciate the uniqueness of each.
In this video, we're on state number 6, which is North Dakota. So this morning we're at the Fargo Moorhead Visitor Center in Fargo, North Dakota, where they have the infamous wood chipper from the end of the movie Fargo. You can actually take your picture with it. Fun stuff. Push that foot in there. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly why it's there.
And if North Dakota is your last state to visit of the 50, they even have a special club that you can join. They'll even give you a shirt.
So now we're in the National Buffalo Museum, which is in Jamestown, North Dakota, learning all about the American bison, which happens to be America's national mammal. And it's a big part of this country's heritage, both for indigenous people as well as the settlers. So we're really learning a lot about how the buffalo basically almost went extinct and then came back and where it's at today.
Of buffalo here at the museum, and we're going to go see if we can spot some of those. In the summer, you can do a pasture tour and get a little closer to the bison, but most of the time, you're going to see them like this. They're way out there, but they're here. Last but not least, the world's largest buffalo is also here, built in 1959.
So one of our stops here in North Dakota is the Capitol building, because it's kind of well known for its understated nature. It looks pretty cool in its own way, so we're looking forward to exploring it.
One of the cool things about visiting Capitol buildings is that most of the time there's an observation deck at the top where you can get a really nice view of the city, and this was definitely no exception. There's some small exhibits up here and some local art. And speaking of exhibits, we actually are going to head next to a museum that is free and just next door.
So here at the state capitol, there's also a heritage center and state museum, which we're checking out right now. So far, it's pretty impressive. There's a lot on the different cultures and history of North Dakota. So looking forward to exploring it.
So far we've just seen a couple of the exhibits, and they're both have been really well done. We have storytelling in a bunch of different Native American tribes. We have sort of a natural history of North Dakota, all the animals that have lived there over the last couple 100 million years. And so to say natural history museum, or to me it didn't say enough about how cool this actually is, and it's a free museum. It seems really well done and really worth a stop. go, we're always sort of on the lookout for food that might be unique to the area that we can try. In North Dakota, I came up with a lot of Scandinavian food. A fair amount of that involved fermented fish, which is super appealing, but we also found the potato lefse, which is like a potato flatbread from Norwegian background. When we looked it up in Fargo to see if we could go get some, we ended up at Freddy's Lefse, and we weren't sure what exactly we were gonna get. I was sort of expecting a restaurant, and what it is more of a factory where they make them, but they also do sell them, and so we picked up a package of 10 that we are gonna try later. It's super friendly. They make them fresh every day, so we're gonna try these when we get to our campsite later today. So we just arrived and got our tent set up at Fort Abraham Lincoln State Park. We've got a really nice site right along the Missouri River and where we can relax and get dinner tonight. We are gonna explore the park more, but probably not until tomorrow morning. What we are gonna do tonight is break into these Lefses that we brought this morning and see how we like them.
So we learned the most common way to have them is with basic butter and sugar, but you can also use cream cheese or fruit, or peanut butter and jelly is a common thing. So basically there's no wrong way to have them. We're gonna try and go with the more traditional butter and sugar out here. I don't know if you roll it up or how you do it, but it's very crepe-like, so anything I can give some North Dakotans a good laugh about how I prepare this thing.
Cheryl thought it needed maybe a little more sweetness, more sugar. I decided to try something different and just go with the strawberries. So there's butter and sugar and strawberries, and we're gonna give that a try. Okay, I'm losing strawberries. Okay. It's good. It's really soft, like really very, very crepey. Tastes pretty good. Daryl said it's sort of could be a vehicle for almost anything, like a tortilla or crepe. So we're all packed up for the day and ready to go.
So we're gonna see what Fort Abraham Lincoln State Park has to offer.
Let's
go.
I know I want to see this. These were mentioned, but I don't know what they are. The block posts, block houses are first. I'm gonna go there because it's clearly close. Okay. So on this site, 300 or 400 years ago, there was a Mandan Indian village that had about 75 earth lodges, probably 1,000 people, and they've reconstructed a handful of those earth lodges and the ceremonial lodge that you can come and tour and learn things about. It's the first time I've been in an earth lodge, and it's a really neat experience and something that is really worthwhile.
So this fort was established in 1872. First it was an infantry fort, later there was cavalry added. I believe it lasted to about 1891, and then it was decommissioned. There's a lot here to see and explore, which is pretty cool. You can actually climb up the ladders and get the good views. So far it's a pretty impressive site. Highly recommend. So before we leave the state park, we're taking one final stop here in the old Army barracks that was used by the cavalry back then. It's a pretty cool building. It's well restored. Honestly, it looks a lot like the barracks I had in the 90s. So obviously we're a little more updated, but the basics are the same. Row a bed and a locker.
So we could stay and do more things here for sure. There are guided tours, there are hiking trails. Overall, this has been just a really well done state park and we've really enjoyed our time. But we need to get on down the road because there are some more things we want to do in North Dakota, and so we're going to head out on our way to the Enchanted Highway. We are taking just a really quick stop off here on our way to the Enchanted Highway to visit Salem Sioux, who is the world's largest Holstein cow. I don't know if that means that there is a larger cow somewhere in the world, but I guess there could be. At any rate, it was worth a quick stop, and also right up the hill behind the cow there is a really nice 360-degree view of the surrounding countryside, and it's really pretty out here.
Rolling.
So this sculpture behind me is geese in flight, and it is the first sculpture in the Enchanted Highway. Since 2002 has been considered the world's largest scrap metal sculpture by the Guinness Book of World Records. You might be noticing a similar pattern to what we've noticed, is that North Dakota seems to have a penchant for large sculptures, and the Enchanted Highway is definitely a good example of that. It is a series of 7 large metal sculptures over 32 miles between I-94 and the smaller town of Regent. And so we're going to go and take a look at those today. At the end of the highway, you'll find yourself in the little town of Regent, where you'll find a gift shop, the Enchanted Castle Hotel, and also the newest sculpture, which is still under construction, which is behind me here, which is a knight and a dragon, and we hear that when it's finished, it'll move, and the dragon will even breathe fire. Enjoyed the highway. The sculptures were bigger than we imagined, and it was more impressive than I was expecting it to be. We really enjoyed it. It was definitely worth the time. And now, after a night in the Enchanted Castle, we are on our way for one more stop in North Dakota, which is a hike to the highest point in the state. We're getting ready to take a short hike to North Dakota's highest point, which is White Butte at 3,506 feet. hike is about a mile in each direction, and so far it's beautiful. Summit. It's a little windy, so we're ducked down hiding from the wind, but it's a nice little hike. This southwest corner of North Dakota is where the Badlands sort of come up into the state, and there's some really nice views up here.
Yeah, it is really beautiful. It's good. It's kind of like our final stop on the way back home to Colorado. So hope you enjoyed what we found for you in North Dakota, and until the next time,
enjoy your travels.